Some introduction, Swamiji?
No. Read our usual prayer. We start with, before we even start the usual prayer, you start with Sadashiva Samarambham, Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam. Our salutations to Lord Shiva in the form of the Prathama Acharya, Prathama Guru. Then our usual prayers, Shruti, Smriti, Purananam, etc. Will somebody please lead that entire prayer?
Yes, Swamiji. Om Sadashiva-samarambham Vyasa-sankara-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Shruti-smriti-purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat-padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu
Pranavarthaya
Om
Shuddha
Namah
Jnanaikamurtaye
Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Among the most powerful mantras available in the Vedas, Rudram is one of them. Gayatri mantra is one of them. And for example, Sankatanashna Vimochana mantra is another one of them. All these are considered extremely powerful if done correctly. In fact, in Kaivalya Upanishad, there is a mantra which is very interesting. The last mantra of the Kaivalya Upanishad, which says, Yaha Shatarudhriyam Adhite. It's also called Shatarudhriyam. He who follows, recites, understands this Rudra Japam, Rudram, Saha Agniputo Bhavati, is as good as being purified by the sacred fire, sanctified by the sacred fire. Surapana Puto Bhavati. Our problem in life is that we create papa karma, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. Shastra tells us, Suram na pibet. Do not get any intoxicant into your system. And all these injunctions are meant only for one purpose. Eventually, what every human being is looking for is moksha. Most don't know. Some of us have figured out that what I'm looking for is moksha. And that moksha is only jnanam. And anything which is a distraction to that is considered not good because it will stop you from, it will prevent you from progressing further. Now, all these papa karmas, whether it is Surapanat Puto Bhavati, by various circumstances, one indulges in that kind of intoxicant, even that, because Shatarudhriyam is such a powerful mantra. In fact, one who does this regularly will never get involved with that kind of thing. In fact, this says so beautifully, Brahmahatyat puto bhavati. You're protected from the worst possible sin you can commit. The worst possible sin one person can commit is one that takes you away from your goal. The farthest away. And what is that? Brahmahatya. The one who does harm to a person who's understood Brahman. So Brahmahatya puto bhavati. Kritya krityat puto bhavati. All your omissions, commissions, everything is taken care of. We do a lot of nitya naimittika karma. As prescribed by Vedas, they are meant partially to take care of all the papa karma we do. Sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. So, when Vedas prescribe you do puja every day, or all the other activities that it tells you to do, are meant to reduce the negative effect of papa karma. So, kritya kritya puto bhavati. Kritya akritya. Commissions and omissions are taken care of. Tasmad avimukta mashrito bhavati. He gains mukti. Atyashrami sarvada sukrdva bhajapet. Therefore, everybody should chant this Rudra regularly. It is even recommended for sannyasis. Even sannyasis are expected to do Rudra Japa regularly. So it is one of those things where even Upanishad tells us that while you're studying Upanishad, idea of studying Upanishad is to head towards moksha. That clarity which leads one to moksha. And that Upanishad itself tells us that remove all obstacles on the way by ensuring that one does adhyayanam of Rudra. Wonderful. We've been seeing in Kathopanishad, in the current mantra we are studying, Astityeva upalabhyate, upalabhyata, upalabdhavya. May one gain asti iti buddhi. We've been studying that. This Shatarudriyam is a wonderful text for doing that. It keeps us completely engaged in understanding that the entire Jagat is dependent reality, is mithya. And there is only one Satyam. Initially, we accept it as Jagat Karanam Brahma. It's a stepping stone. We need to do that in order to be able to gain that status from where moksha becomes the next step. See, Rudram is therefore a wonderful text for that purpose. As we study, we will see. We recognize everything here as Lord Shiva. Things we may like, things we may not like, things we find pleasant, things we find terrifying. Everything is Lord Shiva. This is the immediate meaning you will get. But as you study deeper and deeper into this, you can also see that there is a deeper meaning. And that is the second part, that our Kathopanishad tells us Tattva Bhavaha. You can see that there is this similarity, commonness you find between various texts. And this Rudram is one such text. Like I said, it contains two parts. There is a Rudram portion and there is a Chamakam portion. The Rudram portion, you will see the word Namaha again and again and again. Namaha to everything. Why? We see Lord Shiva as Ishvara and as everything. Therefore, we can actually do Namaha to anything. Some very interesting things you will see later, including thieves. He is the Lord of thieves, and therefore Namaha to him. Things we consider as being, not something you will say Namaha to. But the recognition of the Aikyam. So Namaha, again and again and again, you will see Namaha to this, Namaha to that, Namaha to this. The word Rudram itself has two derivations. That which makes you cry is also Rudram. That which helps clear what caused your crying is also Rudram. Like you have, Vinayaka is called Vigna giver and Vignahartha. He is the same Vinayaka to whom you can pray. If you do wrong thing, he is the one who gives you Vigna. And the same Vigna will remove, the same Ganapati will remove Vigna. Like that, you will find Lord Shiva portrayed both as a terrifying form and as a form, even though terrifying, one that removes the cause of tears. In Chamakam, like you have here, Namaha, 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 the words Chame, Chame, Chame will repeat over and over again. Me in Sanskrit has two forms. Chaturthi, the dative case, is also called me. To me. And the sixth case, possessive, is also me. Mahyam me in Chaturthi and Mama me in Shashti. So there what you're saying is, may everything be to me. Chame, Chame is also. We've already done Namaha to everything. Everything is Ishvara. Now we're taking it to the next step and saying everything is Ishvara, may everything be mine. All the good things in the Jagat and all things that are not so good also, Chame. I hope we will be able to take that up if I can find an appropriate text. But let's begin with the Rudram. We'll start with the introduction. Jagdishan said he would like to start the reading.
From introduction, Swamiji.
Yes, please.
Sri Rudram. Introduction. Among the various Vedic hymns recited daily by a Vedika, the Satarudriya occupies a prime place, popularly known as Sri Rudram. It is in praise of and prayer to the Lord Shiva. A part of both Shukla and Krishna Yajurvedas, the hymn is a source of inspiration for the Namavalis, consisting of 1008 names that reveal and praise the Lord invoked in a particular form. In the epic Mahabharata, Bhishma gives 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, known as Vishnu Sahasranama. Many such Namavalis are mentioned in various Puranas, both in form and content. These Namavalis are not different from the Vedic Rudram. Even in the Vedas, one does not see a section like Sri Rudram consisting of many names of the Lord along with the word Namaha, salutation. The famous five-syllabled mantra, Namah Shivaya, is from this great hymn. Namajapa is perhaps one invariable element in the religious life of a Vaidika. Even now, one can see religious people from different parts of India doing mental or oral japa daily. The Kirtan groups that sing Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, are in fact doing japa. The mode of repeating different names of the Lord has crossed geographical and cultural borders. A devout Muslim repeats the 99 names of Allah. This repetition is japa. A faithful Christian tells the rosary beads, repeating a sentence, seeking mercy from the Lord. This too is japa. The most ancient source of this mode of prayer is Satarudriya. The hymn is also called Namaka because the word Namaha is added to a word or words in the dative case depicting the Lord. The words in the verses of Vishnu Sahasranama are only in the nominative case, and therefore Namaha has no place. But in a ritual of offering flowers unto the altar of Vishnu, Namaha is added to every name appropriately, modified to dative case, giving the sense unto you.
Many of you must be chanting Vishnu Sahasranama. It's a beautiful thing given by Bhishma Pitama to the Pandavas when they came to him on his deathbed. It is only names. And each name of Lord Vishnu has very deep meaning. One part of that, when all of these japas, you will find three parts. One part is simply in praise of whichever Lord you are chanting about. The second part you will often find, because there are several other texts which talk about the life of the Lord. Which asuras did he kill? Who did he save? Which boons he gave? And so on and so forth. Whether it is Lalita Sahasranama or Vishnu Sahasranama or any other Sahasranama. Sahasranama only means 1,000 names. So those, second part, you're repeating the name, and when you expand on it, it talks about the various things that particular deity has performed. A third portion of this you will see is about how to understand Ishvara. Whether it is Vishnu or Lalita or any other chanting of names, that's the third portion, which is Advaita. Someday we will do that. In fact, we've already done one full round of Bhashyam on Vishnu Sahasranama. Each word has been taken, analyzed, shown. Maybe someday again we can take it up for those who have not attended that. Here, In Rudram, we also have added the word Namaha. Rudram adds the word Namaha to every portion of the word, of the name. So here the slight difference is that you pay obeisance to Lord Shiva in a certain form. Each one is a different form. So the Namaha word is added, which is not there, for example, in Vishnu Sahasranama, except, like Swami just says, if you use it as an offering. You can do it as an offering anything. You can even use Bhagavad Gita as an offering, as a yajna. But this one is designed like that. That okay?
Shall I, Swamiji?
Yeah, please. Unless somebody else
There are three,
has
there are
a
three types.
observation or comment to make. No, carry on, please.
There are three types of prayer based upon the predominant means of accomplishing an act of prayer: Kaika, Vachika, and Manasa. Now we see each one of them. Kaika. A Vedic fire ritual is Kaika because the physical limbs and materials are involved in the ritualistic prayer. The Vedic ritual is substituted by a more popular form of worship, that of the Lord at an altar, as is done in a temple. Worship of the Lord, either at home or in a public place of worship, is also Kaika. Though the form of prayer is Kaika, it implies the use of speech and the mind. Kaya refers to physical body. Vachika is oral prayer. It is popular in all religious traditions. In this form, the organ of speech, vak, as well as the mind are involved. And form of recitation, including that of a choir in the church, comes under this category. Manasa is an active prayer done purely by the mind, manaha, which is why it is called manasa, meaning mental. It's also called dhyana, meditation. When the physical act of worship, kaika, is mentally done, it becomes meditation. Only the mind is involved here. The Satarudriya is used in all three forms of prayer. Whole hymn is used in a kaika ritual, implying either an altar of Shiva or of fire. It is also used for oral japa, which is vachika. When a part or the whole of the hymn is repeated mentally, it is manasa.
We all, I'm sure, do some puja at home. Everybody has an altar. In fact, it is quite common to find when you design a house, you have a puja room. Almost everybody has one. At least Indian homes it is there. In fact, I've seen this happen also in Indian homes abroad. And now Indians are becoming more assertive in the fact that you cannot walk in there with shoes, even if your boss happens to be an American, they don't let you do that. So when you do puja, is it kaika, is it vachika, or is it manasa?
It is all the three, Swami.
All three, correct.
All three.
All three. You light a lamp. It's a physical activity. You do archana. That's a physical activity. You pronounce various mantras. It's a vachika activity. You also do mental japa. In fact, Bhashyakara Adi Shankaracharya has given us some wonderful works. When somebody does puja every day, but for various reasons is not able to do it at home. He's traveling at the time when he has to do the puja. He's in a flight at that time or in a train. Adi Shankara has given us a wonderful way of dealing with that. There is Manas Puja. All that you would do in the full puja at home or elsewhere is available to you in the form of a prayer verses, which you can do mentally. One of the most common ones is Shivamanasa Puja. Starting with, you mentally offer water for cleansing, clothes, everything. And Nevedyam, fruits and everything, and including entertainment. All that you do mentally. Shivamanasa Puja. Beautiful, five verses only. So one can do complete Manasa Puja, but include in that what you would otherwise have done as a complete Kayika and Vachika Puja. So people who want to make sure that they don't lose out on the puja because they're traveling or because of whatever other reason, can do this also. But generally, our puja includes all three. I'm sure all of you do puja at home, right? So you can see how you do it. Actually, the puja itself, the whole puja is supposed to be Shodasha puja. There are 16 steps in that puja. We don't normally do all of them necessarily, but certainly all the three types of worship are included. Yeah.
Besides being a hymn of prayer, Satarudriya is like an Upanishad revealing the truth of Jiva, the individual, the Jagat, the world, and Ishvara, the Lord. All the three, Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara. It also provides the means for gaining eligibility for the knowledge unfolded by the Upanishad. The different names of the Lord chanted in one's prayer also reveal the truth of the Lord as one and non-dual, Advitiya, the vision of the Upanishad. The hymn, therefore, is rightly called Rudropanishad. The implied meaning of the words of the Lord serve as Upanishad, and the words in the hymn with their simple meaning become a means for gaining the eligibility for knowledge. This hymn is also considered very efficacious in neutralizing the result of wrong actions. A human being is subject to punya and papa. The difficulties people go through in their lives are often the papas of previous actions actualized in the form of distractions for a person in pursuit of spiritual knowledge. Satarudriya is one of the efficacious means to neutralize them. Even for chitta naishchalya, freedom from emotional upheavals in one's life, Satarudriya is highly recommended by people who know the Vedic tradition very well. In one of the Upanishads, it is said, quote, the one who repeats Satarudriya is freed from the papa incurred by hurting a Brahmana, robbing somebody's wealth, and so on. So the worst of crimes are being caught in this.
Yeah, but can you think of another text which is can be read both as preparation for moksha and as moksha shastra? I'm sure all of you have read
Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita. Clearly, many people will tell you it is a way of life. If you want to see it as way of life, it's way of life. It is a prayer for getting whatever you want, including moksha. You remember the end of each chapter what we say when we chant Bhagavad Gita?
Om Tatsaditi Yoga Shastre. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade. We go on.
So and so, yeah. Keywords are
Upanishadsu.
Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su. In this Bhagavad Gita, the various verses of Bhagavad Gita, plural, it also says Upanishadsu. It is also a grantha meant for moksha jnanam. That is the whole thing, isn't it? When in the second chapter, Bhagavan talks to Arjuna, he talks about Atma. But in many other places, he also talks about how we should get ready. When Arjuna asks, I want to know this jnanam, Bhagavan says, don't be in a hurry. There are other things you need to do. So it is both. And then it says what? Upanishadsu, Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastre. It is both Yoga Shastra for living life correctly. And all these are meant only for moksha eventually. The preparation is for moksha. And Brahma Vidyaya. Brahma Vidya is moksha. Bhagavad Gita is again a wonderful text from that perspective. So when you start reading Bhagavad Gita, initially what one gets is how to live life with minimal stress and yet achieve whatever I want to achieve. Called Karma Yoga. But when you read it again and again and again, you start seeing into what Bhagavan is saying. You first start seeing Bhagavan as Jagat Karanam. Maya Sarvamidam Tatam. You see Bhagavan as Jagat Karanam. There's nothing else other than Bhagavan. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. That understanding itself is a very sharp understanding. Then further reading opens it up to make us understand that Jagat Karanam Brahma, which initially was Saguna Brahma, later I understand that Nirguna Brahma is I. And that is moksha. We will talk a lot more about this. We have been talking every time we do an Upanishad, we talk about only this. Isn't it? That way the
The
Bhagavad Gita.
Vedic Japa.
Yeah, sorry? Oh, you're reading.
Will continue, Swami?
Okay, unless somebody has some other comments to make. I want people to please participate. I don't want to talk. Yes, Sundarji.
The Vedic Japa is even reverentially talked about even
1
in
minute,
the...
1 minute. Jagdishan ji.
Sundarji, you're on mute. Ji.
You
You are
please
on
unmute
mute.
yourself, Sundarji.
Namaste, Swamiji. I just have a small doubt. Like in this particular verse, it is saying that Shataridriya is one of the efficacious means to neutralize punya and papa. How can that be, Swamiji? Like, I mean, just by chanting the name, how like it can be neutralized, papa and punya can be neutralized, Swamiji?
Very good
Not getting
question.
it.
Very good question. Just before that, we read, no, that this is a Kaika, Vachika, and Manasa karma. It's a karma. Correct? When you chant, it is karma. When you study and understand, it is karma. And every karma will have a karma phala. Correct? When we do any karma, we have to experience the karma phala. Today, if I am going through a series of problems, in fact, the problems one goes through, maybe physical, maybe emotional, maybe whatever else. But the real thing is that it prevents me from moving towards moksha understanding. That is the biggest thing. Why did I get this? What happened? What gave me this problem? Something I did sometime before. So now, how can I get rid of it? Because this relationship is infallible. If you do karma, karma phala will be there. How can I now reduce this? How can I mitigate it? How can I even eliminate it? By doing another karma, which also produces a result, which can negate some of this karma. So any prayer you do has this effect. See, when you do a prayer, you can do two things. You can either pray to whichever Ishvara form you want to and say, please give me good health. Now that has a specific request and therefore you're doing a certain prayer. You might get good health. But suppose when you do prayer without any sankalpa, I just do a prayer every morning, I get up, light a lamp and do a prayer. I don't have any specific sankalpa. What happens? Where is the phala? That phala is in the form of negating some of the negative phala which prevents my movement towards moksha. Hey, there's one more hand up I can see.
Swamiji, just to clarify, when Sundarji said this is how can this be an efficacious means to neutralize both punya and papa, but here I think when Swamiji is meaning only the papa, not it is not actually neutralizing when the sentence says neutralize them, the them is papa karma, papa phalas in plural, not punya. So punya is not included in that them, because in the previous sentence, Swamiji says human being is subject to punya and papa. And then he explains about what papa is. And then he says it is an efficacious means to neutralize those papas.
Very good. I didn't want to touch. I saw that punya and papa. Would somebody else like to address that issue? I didn't want to raise it because there are
I
people who
think
probably would
the
have a
other
little
side is
challenge with that.
the other side is the positive side. You want to increase your loka sangragam activities with punya activities. When you work for the society, not for self, naturally it enhances the quotient of positive things in favor. That is punya. So reduction of papa and enhancement of punya is the result of prayers.
Good point.
Both are involved. It is not just one side.
Any other
Yeah.
input on this?
So,
Why punya?
Swami, I would like to add, neutralizing papa and punya are needed for us to gain moksha, because Kshine
Correct.
punya martyalokam vishanti. If you do a lot of punya, you end up in a swargaloka. But if you want moksha, you should not stay in swargaloka. And so to neutralize even those punyas, that is what is meant by punya and papa. Neutralizing both punya and papa, you attain moksha.
Wonderful point. This is important. But some of you who have not been doing this earlier may find it a little difficult to understand, but stay with us. But what Ratnamji said is absolutely valid. Shobha, you want to say something?
yeah, just wanted to add that the previous sentence talks about obstructions for a person in pursuit of spiritual knowledge. And I think that them refers to the obstructions. The them in the next sentence is one of the efficacious means to neutralize them. Probably refers to the obstructions that Swamiji is talking about.
Correct. But the point that Ratnamji is raising is that at one level you want your papa karmas to be negated, because nobody wants to suffer physical or emotional or intellectual pain. At the one level. Another level I raise it saying, why do I object to having physical pain or emotional pain? Because these pains will make it difficult for me to understand moksha. A third level, which is what Ratnamji is pointing out, is that whether it is punya or papa, a karma will have karma phala. A karma phala will produce, will be, there is a sharira required for this karma phala to be experienced. Correct? So if the sharira is required, that means you need another janma. The whole idea of trying to understand moksha is that I am not subject to this birth and death. The sharira is. And I want to separate my idea of I from the idea of the sharira. So, from that perspective, moksha is dharma atitaha. Transcends dharma punya papa. Energy.
Swami, also to answer to Sundar's question, how will this chanting get rid of the punya and papa is by knowing the meaning of the words and putting it into practice. That will make you free from all these.
Hinaji has been having a hand up for quite some time. You have to unmute, Dina. No? Okay. Is that clear, Sundarji?
A1, Swami.
Okay. Hold it. There are others who may or may not find it easy to understand. We will continue to discuss this as we go forward. Okay, let's continue. Continue, Jagishanji. Or somebody else wants to take over reading at this point? We have another 10 minutes.
I can continue if you want.
Yeah, sure. I would like everybody to please read and others follow what is being read.
Swami, before that, there is one point raised by Mr. It is not that everybody is interested in moksha, I mean, in Swarga. There are people who are not clear that they don't want Swarga. So those people, what does punya do? It enhances their ability to reach moksha sooner than later. So that point, I think Mr. Ratnam must also note.
It is true. Ratnamji mentioned that. People...
Not that everybody is enamored about
people
Swarga.
Understand what they really want is moksha. They are not particularly bothered about going to any other loka. Right.
The Vedic japa is reverentially talked about even in the Puranas. In the Kurma Purana, there is a story of a king called Vasumanas, who did Gayatri Upasana for many years. As a result of his prayer, the Lord appeared to the king in the very form he was praying to. Requested by the king for the means to moksha from samsara, the Lord told him, "Listen to these secret names of mine given in one place, even though they are mentioned individually in different parts of the Vedas. Add namaha to each word and do namaskara, living a life of dharma. You will free yourself from samsara." What is the logic here? It needs to be discussed. There are devotees who believe that the name Nama of the Lord is greater than the person, the Nami. For instance, the name Rama is greater than the Lord Rama. There is certain truth in this view. There is no name without a Nami. The name Gandhi stands for the person, the Nami who gave a distinct content to the name. The name Vivekananda has gained a sacred status only because of the Nami, the person. It is clear
the name
that
Gandhi the current Gandhi has given a peculiar form to this name. People have their own conclusions about
Rahul
what
Gandhi.
it is.
Sanjay Gandhi.
Gandhi, sir. Swamiji, it is Gandhi. No, they have modified it as Gandhi. Actual surname is Gandhi.
Gandhi, yeah.
That is Tathika.
Taddita pratyaya. Gandhi is Taddita pratyaya. Gandhi.
Good. Divyansh?
Swamiji, shouldn't like this line, there is no name without a Nami. Shouldn't this be other way around? There is no Nami without a name?
No, no. When you say a name, you read this paragraph, you will understand this. There is every name must represent something. A Nami must be there behind it. We'll read this paragraph.
What,
Then we'll
what
talk
about Gagu Bugai?
What?
What about Gagu Bugai?
That's not a name.
That's a name, right?
No, that's not a name. That doesn't represent anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
sure.
Rama was in Ayodhya, in Kishkinda, in Chitrakuta, that he vanquished Ravana and brought back Sita, wore the crown, and so on was the story of Rama. He gave content to the word. But then we hear that Hanumanji was given to do japa of Ramanama even when Rama, the Nami, was around. Why? Because Rama, the person, cannot be put in the mind and repeated in japa. Japa being an act of repetition, the Nami has no place there. Therefore, there is a basis for saying that Nama is more important than the Nami. When the Nami is no more, the Nama with its content would last forever.
In one Upanishad, as some of you know already, called Kali Santarshana Upanishad. In many places in the Upanishads and various other texts, including what Bhishma Pitama said, in the Kali Yuga, the best advice to give to people is to do Nama Japa. And in this Upanishad called Kali Santarshana Upanishad, it gives us Nama Japa, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All you have to do is just chant the name over and over again as a japa. This, of course, was adopted by Swami Prabhupada and ISKCON. They only flipped it differently. They said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Wonderful thing to do in Kali Yuga. In fact, they have many programs where you go to one of the ISKCON temples. As you climb each step, and there are many steps, you are expected to say this Nama Japa again and again, each time. So thousands of people go. So the Nama Japa takes place collectively. All these kirtanas and things like that take place are also like that only. Collective Nama Japa. And like I said, in Kali Yuga, that's probably the easiest way out of all our troubles. Therefore, it says Nama is sometimes can be seen as being more important than the Nami. Yeah.
Further, all that is here is only Brahman. What does this word all mean? Like, even the world of earthenware is nothing but clay. This entire world of forms, Rupa, is Brahman. It is unfolded in Vedanta Shastra by sentences like Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. The world of earthenware, such as pot, jar, cup, and saucer, are not separate from clay. Therefore, the words pot, cup, and so on are only symbols that refer to various forms. So too, every object such as sun, moon, earth, space, and time is not separate from Brahman, even though each object has its own particular content and is referred to by the words sun, moon, earth, space, and time. Therefore, any form, rupa, is the meaning of the word nama. Can you think of a nama without the rupa? Can you repeat a known word like apple without seeing its meaning, the object, fruit? Between a word vachaka and its meaning vachya, there is an invariable relationship. Even if you do not have a name for a form of clay, you cannot even imagine the form without imagining the substance. There is a non-separate relationship between name and form. If all forms are Brahman, Ishvara, then all names are those of Ishvara. Therefore, in one name, which includes all names, you can see the entire Jagat being non-separate from Ishvara. When Rama is the Lord, Rama, the name includes every other word. You can repeat the word as a prayer. The hymn under discussion, Shatarudriya, consists of 11 sections, Anuvakas. Each of them has a number of hymns in different Vedic meters. Every hymn has a seer, rishi, and a devata. Often we see more than one hymn being attributed to a given rishi. The first Anuvaka is a prayer to Lord Rudra asking him to be kind and giving. From the second to ninth Anuvaka, the Lord is saluted as Sarvatma, all forms constituting the word as Sarva Antaryami, the inner order sustaining everything, and also as Sarveshwara, the Lord of everything. The 10th Anuvaka consists of prayers to the Lord, and in the 11th, the Lord is prayed to in the form of many devatas, sustaining different spheres of experience. In the first 9 sections of Rudram, the word Namaha occurs 300 times, which is why the Shatarudriya is popular as Namaka in the south of India. This hymn is invariably followed by another hymn where the syllables cha and me occur in every sentence, and so the hymn is called Chamaka. Reciting of Rudram is part of the daily prayer for many Vaidikas in this country. Even a renunciate sannyasi is advised to recite this hymn daily, with understanding of the words and their implications to live a contemplative life. We have reached the time, Swami.
That is also in Kaivalya Upanishad. Okay, we will stop here today. Divyansh, can we take up your point for discussion in the beginning of the next class? Like I said, one more time, I request all of you, unless it is impossible, to keep a video on and to please participate, offer to read. Reading gives you an insight which you may or may not get by listening to somebody else read. When somebody else is reading, listen very carefully, and anything that occurs to you, you can stop and open it for discussion. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you.